If you struggle with endurance, believe it or not, you need to do something other than aerobic training. Let me explain. Hi, I'm Coach Robb. At the time of this recording, I've been a physiologist going on 41 years. And when it comes to improving somebody's endurance, a lot of people think, and most people will visualize almost immediately, doing longer cardio sessions. Whatever your sport of choice is, when somebody thinks about endurance, they think, take my sport of choice and just do it for a longer period of time and my endurance will get better. And that is true, but that's only 50% of the equation. The part of the equation that most people miss is the importance of strength, and not for the obvious reasons. Let me explain. When you're looking at strength, you go to the gym and you move a certain amount of load. At a neuromuscular level, your body recognizes, okay, and I'm just going to use bicep curl for the sake of convenience. You go to the gym and you pick up a 25-pound dumbbell, you curl it 10 times. You go to a 30, you curl it 10 times. Your brain's anticipating 35s the next time you pick it up. The way that you can validate this is go to the gym and do exactly that. Pick up a weight that you're comfortable with, pick up a weight that's a little bit more than you're comfortable with, then go back to the original weight and you'll notice that it feels easier. Keyword is easier. Now, why is that? How does that happen? When you're looking at how the muscles communicate with the brain, and another example of this on a day-to-day basis is when you go to lift up a gallon of milk. A gallon is approximately 8 pounds. Over the years, your body has picked up on the idea that it sees a gallon and it sends a neuromuscular message to lift 8 pounds. And when it's nearly empty, that's why it ends up bouncing off the roof of the refrigerator. It's the easiest everyday illustration of why strength training is so important if you want to improve endurance. And here's where the not so obvious comes in. When you're in the gym, most people think I'm using my primary muscles. Pretty straightforward, right? I go to the gym, I pick up the weight, and I do bicep curls. Most people can visualize the two heads of bicep are going to get stronger. Behind the scenes, and this is the beautiful part about strength training when you do it correctly, is it solicits secondary muscle groups. And this is where late race endurance comes in. This is where muscular endurance comes in. There's a big difference between power, I can move X amount of weight. The question about muscular endurance is, how long can you move that amount of weight, that amount of load before you get tired? There's where we get the subject of muscular endurance. But it's not just about going to the gym. Sure, when you lift weights, you get the nice byproduct of having a good physique. From an athletic standpoint, this is about having endurance. And even if you don't consider yourself a so-called athlete, if you want to be able to go walk around a theme park with your family and friends and not get tired, you need to be strong. Most people think it's a big aerobic engine, and yes, that's 50% of the equation. But when we're looking at the idea of how do I get better endurance, you have to get stronger. How does that happen? The primary muscles, they'll work and fire till they get tired, and then they start to solicit the secondary muscle groups. That's exactly what happens in a race. You're going until the primaries fatigue. Secondary have now been solicited through strength training, so you're able to maintain the same amount of speed. We say with our clients, this is how you don't slow down as much as everybody else does. Everybody gets tired. We're humans. We're not mechanical. So the goal is to be able to go fast for a long period of time without becoming tired. There's things that you have to factor into that equation, like, are you delivering consistent amounts of sugar? Are you delivering necessary electrolytes? Both are absolutely imperative for muscle contraction. We see a lot of times people say, well, I need to get fitter because I got tired. Well, number one, you need to get hydrated. Number two, you need to make sure that you have a good strength background. That's the key combination right there. You have a good strength base, you have a big aerobic engine, and you've got a constant influx of an isotonic drink. We happen to own a company known as Energy Fuel. Energy Fuel's formulation is specifically designed around the duration and the intensity. They tend to go together. Short duration, high intensity. Moderate duration, slightly lower heart rate. Very long duration, average heart rate is going to be significantly lower than something that you do for 6 to 30 minutes. So all of this has to be factored into the equation, because what I don't want, and that was the genesis of the email that I received from a viewer, was they were frustrated that they weren't able to improve their end of race endurance. So they just kept extending the workouts and wondering why it's not translating over to the races. And then when they paid for a consultation, after they sent us an email, we started talking, they were confused. They paid for a consultation and we were able to get them to see there was no strength training in their program. So I want you to not fall into that same frustration. And as all these videos here on YouTube, your emails are the catalyst for these discussions. So hopefully you can learn from this video and we can speed up your ability to go faster, longer before you get tired. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this video. As I mentioned, all these videos are coming from the emails that you guys have sent in. If you guys are comfortable, feel free to leave a comment below here on YouTube. I respond to all of them myself, but I also understand sometimes you have a very specific question that you want answered. Feel free to send me an email. I'm happy to get back to you. contact@coachrob.com. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Like and subscribe, and definitely turn on those notifications because every day we put out a video answering your questions. So again, thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.